Okay, right. So I just want to clarify something about the inferior impact injury to the sacrum. So imagine my hand is the sacrum, normal kyphosis. The impact trauma causes a depression to the lower portion. Often it's transmitted up into the upper portion, causing an expansion in the x-axis, z-axis, etc. So the idea here is to come in underneath the apex of the sacrum to bring out as much of that as possible, and then address this z-axis component, which often is expanded out. Okay, so I'm going to grab a bolster. So we would normally start coming in through the apex. So get the bolster, get permission from your patient to get the bolster right into the area in the perineal area to bring the coccyx posteriorly. Then you would contain on the sacral base with your other hand. And you're going to basically be containing the apex posterior and superior, and simply contain anteriorly on the sacral base. So that's a starting point. That will tend to bring that lower portion out slightly, but you still have to deal with this kind of angulation, the inward angulation of the apex going forward. So then what I talked about in the other video is bringing it from below, which is not always possible. Sometimes it's angled in so far that it's best sometimes to start just below the AIIS here and start containing laterally. I'll come around here. I'll do it with my hands like this. Contain medially, rather, to basically shut down this axis here, which will tend to bring that apex back slightly. Then, as that releases, then start from the top and work your way down as it's more exposed. Ultimately, you're going to restore that kyphosis. All right? Then you can focus perhaps on the more involved side a little bit more, but you can contain it easily from the sides of your thenar eminences like that. So number one, and then number two, and then migrating down as the apex starts to migrate posteriorly. Okay? So that's the idea here in terms of restoring the sacral kyphosis and therefore reducing stress on the sacrum, sacroiliac, and so on. Finally, last step, because a lot of the energy gets trapped up in the base of the sacrum, you want to go ahead and come up this way, and you're going to be using your typical containment through the ilium to contain through the anterior portion of the sacrum right through to the base. Okay? So that should be your final step. Okay?